Alrighty guys, we're back for some Jund Caves, and this is a Lost Caverns of Ixalan standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I build all kinds of different decks, but I do prefer aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well. Also, we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link down in the description if you're interested in joining either of those up. Okay, what do we got packed into the build here? Spelunking is a 3-mana enchantment, and when it ETBs, you draw a card. Then you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you put a cave onto the battlefield this way, you gain 4 life. Nice. Lands you control enter the battlefield untapped, which is going to be key here, I believe at least, because a lot of the caves and stuff are going to enter tapped. So what kind of caves do we got over here? Well, we got like Hidden Necropolis as a 4 of. This is one of the Discovery Caves. It does ETB tapped. We got Hidden Nursery, it's another Discovery Cave, enters tapped. We have a couple of the Hidden Volcanoes. Discovery Cave enters tapped. We also have a lot of the Restless lands in here as a 2 of with Restless Vents, which is a newer one, and a 2 of with the Restless Cottage in here. These are not caves, but I do think that just having creature lands is going to be excellent, because we're also rocking all 4 Blossoming Tortoise in here as well. So 4 mana, 3/3. You guys are probably seeing a lot of this turtle. But when it enters the battlefield or attacks, you mill 3 cards. Then you return a land card from your battlefield onto the from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. Activated abilities of lands you control cost 1 less to activate, which is going to be awesome. And then land creatures you control get +1/+1. So outside of the Restless lands, we also have the, which one is it? Here it is, Cavernous Maw. So it taps for a colorless, then for 2 mana. It becomes a 3/3 elemental creature until end of turn. It's still a cave land. Activate only if the number of other caves, not this one, other caves you control, plus the number of cave cards in your graveyard is 3 or greater. So if you're ending up milling extra from like Tortoise or something too, so all the caves count, I think it's going to be really easy to power this up. And if you have like a couple Blossoming Tortoise on the board, it's actually going to be free to power up, which is really neat, huh? Okay, we might as well finish going over the rest of the caves here while we're all over the place. So you got a couple Echoing Deeps. It's a land cave. It taps for a colorless. And when it enters the battlefield, it comes in tapped as a copy of any land card in a graveyard, except it's a cave in addition to its other type. So it's going to be interesting to see how much that actually does. So I have a Forgotten Monument here as a 4 of. It's going to be pretty important in this deck, I would say. Taps for a colorless, but other caves you control have tap, pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color. Yeah, that's probably going to be super essential. And we also have a couple Sunken Citadels too. So it enters the battlefield tapped. As it enters, you choose a color, and then you can tap it to add 1 mana of the chosen color, or tap it to add 2 mana of the chosen color. Spend this mana only to activate abilities of land sources. So that's really cool, huh? And we didn't go over the Restless Vents. Essentially taps for Rakdos colors, enters tapped for 1 in Rakdos colors until end of turn. It becomes a 2/3 black and red insect creature with menace. And then when it attacks, you can discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Seems pretty solid, man. I like these ones that power up for just 3, even though it's relatively easy to power up the ones for 4 too. Like we see Restless Cottage swinging in all the time. So some more new cards in here that's going to work with the caves. We have this Gargantuan Leech. This is an 8 mana 5/5 lifelink, but it costs 1 less to cast for each cave you control and each cave card in your graveyard. Dude, I think it's going to be really easy to get this down to like 2 mana. Especially when we're milling too. We're putting lands into the grave. The total lands in here is actually 26, and if we look over here, 22 of them are caves. So 22 cards in this whole deck are caves. I think it's going to be really easy to get the Leech super cheap, and then just like the lifelink seems like really gross on this, man. So where do we want to put this? Let's shoot for having this as a 2-drop. I'm going to put it there. Even though you're probably going to be playing it as a 3-drop every now and then. Yeah, that's true, but more new cards. We have Cosmium Confluence. This is a 5 mana sorcery. You choose 3, and then you may choose the same mode more than once, which is really neat. So you can destroy target enchantment. Okay. You can put 3 +1/+1 counters on a cave you control. It becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. Nice. That doesn't say like until end of turn either. So, or you could search your library for a cave card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. And again, you can choose the same mode multiple times. So you could just do that one 3 times or something, or power up 3 lands for that matter. So, yep, really, really neat card. I think it's going to be worth it as a 2 of. More stuff that works with the caves. We got Calamitous, there we go, Cave-In. It's a 4-mana sorcery. Deals X damage to each creature and each planeswalker, where X is the number of caves you control plus the number of cave cards in your graveyard. Oh man, yeah, just great board wipe as far as I can tell, right? Like it's gonna consistently be able to wipe the opponent's board, I would hope at least, and it's only 4 mana too, so it does hit our stuff as well. Hopefully it hits the opponent's stuff way more than it hits our stuff. But yeah, it hits planeswalkers too. So like our Wrenn and Realmbreaker as a 2 of. It's going to be a great way to plug some extra cards into the grave, power up some lands and whatnot too. And you never know, we might get to that -7. That emblem could be disgusting in a deck like this, where you can play lands and cast permanent spells from your graveyard. Yeah. We have another new one that works with a cave, maybe a janky pick, but it's a 3-mana artifact. When it ETBs, you look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. Put the rest on the bottom of your... Wait, do they not say at the bottom of the library anymore? Anyways, put the rest on the bottom in a random order. Then you can craft with the cave for 5 and a green, and it just becomes a 5/5. I don't know how often you're actually going to be crafting this with a cave, but when you craft, you can also craft with things from your graveyard. So you can exile a cave you control or a cave card in your graveyard. So yeah, honestly, you never know. It might come in handy. It might help you wrap up a game. Realistically, we're just looking at this as ramp that can actually grab caves from the deck. Got more board wipes in here, looking at Into the Fire as a 3-mana sorcery speed. We get to choose one. So you can either have this deal 2 damage to each creature, planeswalker in battle, or you can put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your library, then draw that many cards +1. It kind of feels like an underplayed board wipe, but honestly, 2 damage just doesn't hit as much as you would originally think, so that's probably why. But something important here is I wanted a board wipe at 3 mana that wasn't double red, so that's why Brotherhood's End isn't in here. I think the double red would have been a little bit too greedy at times. So that's that concept. We have Scampering Surveyor here. It's a 4-mana 3/2. When it ETBs, search your library for a basic land card or a cave card. Put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Nice, a couple of them. Pretty expensive, man, it is. But grabbing a cave, I don't know. Seems like it could be decent. Since we have Golgari colors, we might as well rock a couple Tear Asunders. And also for more removal, we have a Go for the Throat. We're trying out a couple Bitter Triumphs because I'm interested to see how often we're okay with discarding lands from our hand. Other than that, 3 life is going to be pretty steep to pay. It's going to also hit Planeswalkers too, which is nice. Got some more early removal with a couple cut downs too. And over in the honorable mentions, I have a Sheoldred's Edict as a reminder that you could totally play your removal of choice. I tend to be pretty bad at choosing what removal goes into what deck, and sometimes I rely on you guys letting me know in the comments, hey, maybe this removal would be better here, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then I'll do that for next time. So yeah, Sheoldred's Edict, something to think about, I guess, right? Your removal of choice, and there's a bunch to choose from, especially with all these, with a 3-color build, right? Another thing in the honorable mention, Restless Ridgeline didn't make the cut. I do think the Rakdos version is going to be a little better, and for this one, we're heavily leaning towards green, then we got the black, then we got the like splash of red pretty much in here. We're splashing red because we needed more caves in the mana base, but then also, I just think the cave-in's going to do way too much all the time, so... Card that I didn't go over yet, Shigeki Jukai Visionary made the cut. We don't get to see this too often, surprisingly. It's a 2-mana 1/3 legendary enchantment creature snake druid. For 1 and a green, you can tap this, return it to the owner's hand, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped, put the rest into your graveyard. That's not a bad ability at all. What you see often with this is they block with it, and then they return it to their hand, and then you get that ramp with it too. So, of course, that doesn't work if you're blocking something with trample, but you guys know what I mean. Also has that channel ability for a double X, double green. You can discard it, return X target non-legendary cards from your graveyard to your hand. Yep, not a bad card at all, dude. Okay, is that everything? This one took a while to go over, all like the new caves and everything, huh? Either way, let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game here. Heck yeah, we do. What am I expecting from the build? I have no idea. I really don't. I've seen some pretty cool cave builds doing a lot, and a lot of them are playing with white mana for the Bat Cave or whatever it's called. Okay, no green source, but like Forgotten Monument whenever we find more. Whenever we find more caves. This is a bad hand, isn't it? This is a bad hand. I should mulligan. I shouldn't keep that, right? There's no guarantee that we actually see what we need to see. Okay, much better, I would say. I don't want to get rid of the double tortoise, but I'm going to, just for the sake of just seeing extra things, and I don't want to get rid of any of the land here either. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Restless Cottage, based on what we have here. And then we can go Monument, since it doesn't enter tapped, and then actually get the Shigeki down. Not bad. In that hand that we mulliganed, we had Spelunking, which would have been awesome. Ooh, 2 mana, 3/4, crew 1. Target creature that crewed it explores. Oh, that looks good. That looks pretty good. Ooh, Spelunking in hand. Nice. I wonder if we just use that ability. Probably. Probably. No attacks. I would say the Shigeki ability would be worth the ramp, because we have a chance of getting Tortoise down then, even if we... Well, like, right now, there's a chance that we don't see a land off the top. But with Shigeki, on the other hand... Also plays around, like, spot removal pretty well. Yeah, good stuff. They end up playing a creature that can crew this? I guess we could always, like... We have cut down. I just think... I think it's Shigeki regardless. Alright, so they're going to target the Shigeki, and then we'll activate this. This also has Ward 1 here, too. So they get to crew up, then they'll get to explore on the Larcenist. Cavernous Maw, oh man. With all those on the top, you'd think we didn't have 26 mana in here. It's a little scary. Swing for 3, yeah, they got that Explore. 3/4 now, so it does get around the cut down, unfortunately. Should probably be Spelunking? And then Tortoise? Because Tortoise isn't a great blocker into a 3/4 anyways. Spelunking's good, man. Because we'll play the Necropolis with it, gain 4, back up to 21, and then we still get Shigeki down. Like, that's pretty good. Cave-In already a 4 mana deal 4 to everything. That's wild. Unfortunately, yeah, the vehicle kind of gets around that pretty well. What are we going to do about that? They are able to turn our poor Shigeki into a treasure this time. Hopefully. Okay, good news. Yeah, that's excellent news. Because if they explored with the 3/4, then the Cave-In wouldn't have hit it if it got the counter. Which it would have too, so... Yeah, we want to go Cave-In. So the Larcenist is protecting the Shigeki. Restless comes in untapped. That's wild, man. That's so cool. Yeah, it's gotta be the Cave-In, right? It's gotta be. Get these Larcenists off the board. And then Shigeki chillin'. Nice. We had to pay 1 for the red source, I see, which is fine. Totally fine. Probably go for the ramp on the Shigeki again, too. Could be a little risky, though. What's this? They got Virtue of Loyalty. This deck looks sick, opponent. Oh, man. Yeah, Virtue of Loyalty, get a couple knights, sure. No, it's only 1 knight. For some reason, I thought it was a couple. Or, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there. Obviously, that would have been... So when they target the Explore, we'll go cut down instead of the Shigeki. They get that. If they get the Make Disappear out of their hand, it wouldn't be too bad. We're still playing around Make Disappear pretty nicely with all this extra mana on the board now. Shigeki, sure. That's not bad. It isn't. Could start swinging with, like, Restless Cottage and try to get some life gain from that. Playing the long game isn't bad. You know what's pretty insane, though? Well, it's not like it's gonna matter, huh? 2. I don't want to tap that one down. Wait a minute. What are you... What's going on here? What's going on here? Watch out for the auto tapper, guys. We need the green source. And that. Okay, there we go. Because now we have 1 mana to power up the Maw. Oh, we'll still have the mana, though, regardless, because we're probably going to see a land here. We needed 2 mana open for the Make Disappear play around. Yeah, our 1 Cave-In for their 2 Larcenists was really good. Like, we could have waited to try to hit more creatures, but that just wouldn't have been worth it at all. Just a classic 2 for 1. Wow, we almost didn't hit a land, but we got the Restless Vents there. So we could go Cavernous Maw for 1 mana now if we wanted to. And then go for a swing. They do have Mirex. Yeah, what the heck, man. Let's do this. Let's do this. It's a 4/4 with the Tortoise on the board. And I guess I'll swing with the Visionary too. 5 damage, potentially. It sure feels like something, right? But it is. It's going to be Destroy Evil for the Cavernous Maw. Nice. And the only reason the Destroy Evil could hit was because of the buff on the Tortoise. I'm not too concerned about that. We swing with Tortoise, we get the Maw back anyways. Playing a second Tortoise from hand. Spyglass, power up. They still swing with a 3/4. This is super dangerous, man. Yeah, we got to start. We have to consider. I don't know. We have to consider something. Gaining life on food, I guess. We have 5 mana open for the Virtue of Loyalty now. They could play it, untap their creatures, buff their creatures, or they can keep the Make Disappear open. Looks like it's going to be Make Disappear open for the turn. They see a Seat of the Empire off the top. Aw, man, Seat of the Empire gets around the Tortoise swing. And the Restless Cottage swing. No, Restless Cottage would be a 5/5. So what do you guys think? Do we like, if we power up Cottage, we'll have 2 open for the food. Spelunking. If we see a land off the draw, that could help. We have Restless Vents. It has to be like the food, though, if anything, I would say. And if we full swing, Tortoise ramp, get the Maw back, Seat of the Empire, hits the Tortoise. Probably not, right? Probably not, because we want to keep the... What do I want to do, guys? I don't know. There's a lot of options for such a simple board state right now. I guess, yeah, keep Tortoise back as an emergency blocker, unfortunately. Probably, I don't exactly know what we're up against, but probably one of the creatures I'd expect would be the best grab there. Yeah, so what ends up happening is now if they swing with this, we have the option to block with Shigeki, bounce it to hand, and ramp that way. Not like we necessarily need the ramp right now. We also just have the food open to gain life if we need to. Like if they find removal for Shigeki before we're able to block. But then we also have an emergency blocker with Blossoming Tortoise. Okay, Virtue, get a Knight down. Okay. Okay. Just double checking all the caves and everything down here. Yeah, 2 open for food or 2 open for Shigeki. And I guess if they swing on the ground, it'll be Shigeki. But if they have anything else fancy, it'll be the food. I think that's what we want. If we see a land draw, then Spelunking might be the play. Good life gain, right? We're gonna buff there. Okay, it's Shigeki, right? If we go Shigeki, block. Yeah, it's Shigeki. 1's getting through in the air. And then I guess they could wait for us to activate it and then go Seat of the Empire on the activation. right? If that's the case, we still successfully... Yeah, we still do this. Oh, I guess they can't put the Seed of the Empire on the activation. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes the orderings confuse me. Oh no, no land! Go for the Throat wouldn't have been able to instant speed remove this this subterranean schooner? Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to hit that anyways. This card's been a menace. That dropped on turn 2 and it's been a menace ever since. Okay, they're gonna start untapping, giving counters to everything. We definitely need to see a little bit more. Spelunking. Oh no. We definitely need to start seeing a little more. Oh, they played Seat as a land. We do have the swing on the Tortoise. We might double block like a Cottage if we do it that way. You know what? It's probably still Cottage again, right? As scary as that could be, only this time it's going to be a full swing because I'm crazy. But mainly because I think we can survive the turn. We'll pick up the Larcenist, that's fine. Let's see where they end up blocking here, because this is a good chunk of damage through. Cavernous Maw, nice. Let's hit one of them. There's 2 of them in the grave now. They're going to take the 8. With 5 on the board, they have to crew up for this. And we have gain 3. So we don't play Shigeki. We can also power up the Maw for 1 mana too if we needed to. If something else happens. Yeah, if we had a cave in hand, I think it would have been Spelunking, because like the gain 4 life or whatever. But right now, it's just food go up to 10 and then survive 1 turn. And then, yeah, take it 1 turn at a time at this point is kind of what I'm thinking here. Big problem, that Spyglass is going to get super chunky in the air if they keep going like these Virtue of Loyalties. Oh, Warden. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. Yep, with the Virtue of Loyalty. That's a great way to give it counters every time. It's, oh yeah, and the Subterranean also giving it counters potentially. Okay, well, that's 9 coming through. This is a problem, dude. 1. If only we had 1 more mana. If only. Oh no! Oh no! That's the 10. That's what I get for swinging with Tortoise, guys. I played it risky and it did not work out that time. Hey, good game, opponent. That was an excellent one, huh? Very good game. Oh. Guys, I could have survived. I could have survived right here. 1 mana, power up the Maw. Blocked, then tapped the Maw. I missed it. I missed it, guys. And they would have been at 6? Would we have been able to win next turn? Oh no, it's my fault. I had fun. I had fun though, but it's my fault. Right? I think I could have, because Maw was untapped, I could have powered it up, blocked. That being said, we were risking the block not knowing that Wandering Emperor was in hand, right? They waited till the last moment to drop this and say, haha, I have lethal now, right? So risking the 9 damage, it wasn't worth it. We should have powered up the Maw. Either way, I didn't see it till after anyways. Powered up, blocked the Knight because it's a 3/3. And then tapped it down for the food. Then they could have went Emperor +1 on the 4/4. Our Maw would have died. We would have survived the turn, but I still think that was heavily leaning towards the opponent because they were about to untap all their creatures and give it all counters anyways. But yeah, definitely more optimized play there at the end of that one. Totally my fault. Definitely something to look out for. With decks like this, you really got to be paying attention to that mana base the whole time. Definitely watch out for the auto tapper too. We had to manually tap multiple times in that game. Very cool stuff. Very cool deck from the opponent too. Looked really strong actually. Okay, I guess we keep this. It doesn't feel like we have 26 mana in here. We'd much rather see 3 mana in our opener. But this is fine since we have Shigeki potentially ramping us. Commando. It's good that we went first here. Okay, Shigeki comes down, and our Leech would be so good against this deck. Oh, buddy. Against Mono Red? Nothing from the opponent, so it's probably going to be... some burn. More caves is good news. Okay, we get to keep Bitter Triumph open with Shigeki. I'm down. So Lightning Strike our face, probably, because they don't want to target that Shigeki unless... Oh, nothing from the opponent. What on earth? Two mana, nothing. Oh, there's a green source, and there's a squee. Okay. We should take care of the squee before it swings. Right? Right? Yes. What do I discard here? I'm gonna pay the 3. As wild as that is, man. No, actually, I changed my mind. Ramp is a little bit more important. I know it's only the top 4, but I feel like we're gonna find it. Okay. So we block first. Any of them is fine. Take the 3 this way instead of taking 3 from Bitter. Only we're getting the ramp here on the Shigeki. We do find some land. Oh no, the cave-in going to the grave though. But it's essential to find the cave ramp because we're trying to get that leech as cheap as possible. There we go. There we go, guys. Okay. Echoing Deeps. Is there any lands in the grave? I guess what happens to it then? I guess it's just Echoing Deeps at that point. 5th mana. So we go, I guess we could keep Bitter Triumph open. It's Leech for 3. Well, geez, man, we got a lot. We got a lot to think about because we could grab a couple lands here and destroy an enchantment. Surveyor does the similar thing, but Leech wouldn't be one yet. And that would be all of them, but the caves would enter tapped, right? Yeah, put them onto the battlefield tapped. So it's just get some creatures down for the turn, I would say. And hopefully Shigeki doesn't die, because when we ramp with it again, I'd love to use the channel to get this cave-in back, maybe. How do you feel about that? Wow, there's just a ton of stuff to think about there. Because, like, yeah, we could try to get more caves down and get the leech even cheaper. Like, Tortoise wouldn't have been bad. We have to, like, be prepared, though, for... Wow, they go for the swing, dude. Okay, we have terrific blocks here, and we're actually going to take out one of the goblins, too. What if this is... No, we're fine, we're fine. No. Oh, no! It's a giant growth! Okay, so it would have been better just to block a 1/1 and play around a giant growth. Oh, the exile happens too, so we won't be able to get that back anytime soon. But the 5 life gain was really good regardless, I would say, right? So we'll have 1 mana open here. We might as well go Tortoise now instead of the literally anything else, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be Tortoise for the turn. Do I not have enough for green sources? We're gonna have to use the Monument's ability. Cavernous Maw, not bad, and definitely just playing all the land we can. That's a ton of ramp, dude. All right, next, and we definitely have to be careful. If it's a giant growth style build, it can get explosive very fast, which probably means like prowess creatures and all that fancy goodness too. Well, we still risk the blocks though, right? Let Feldon go through, see what happens. Because we can't just like say, oh yeah, we'll take the damage. Because, yeah, Tortoise gonna die. Are they gonna get the etching above death too? Okay, 2 monsters. 2 Monstrous Rage. Luckily, the etching dies as well. My face! Okay, Restless Cottage, that's good. That's good. Oh. This Bitter Triumph just chilling right now because we don't want to take the 3 or discard anything. So that's definitely noteworthy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Do we? What lands do I want to power up here if I do that? Now that we blocked the etching, maybe we should have blocked the Feldon so that way the I'm sorry, I'm thinking, buddy. There's like there's way too much to think about right now. It's got to be the Confluence, right? But like we have enough land on the board, so I say we like grab 1. We could destroy the monster roll, but I think we grab 1 land and power up 2 of these is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. 2, 3. Probably should just be another like Cavernous Maw, right? Just in case we need more to power up. We'll power up you, and we could have them as blockers and the Bitter Triumph, and we could totally discard Surveyor if we need to. Do have haste too, but like we're in trouble, man, so... And like the Squee's gonna come back in no time. Squee could come back this turn if they find a land. They could hit a land off of like the Feldon death too, so we're probably gonna go... block 1. Ah, that's rough, dude, because our land's gonna die for sure. Like we know that they have a trick up their sleeve. I don't want to double block it too, because what if they're able to buff it above both lands? And then it's gonna be Bitter Triumph, I guess. Yeah, so like I said, the land's gonna die. Bitter Triumph, take out the Feldon, and I think we take the 3 damage. Ow. Oh man. Oh no, if it's like protection spell for Feldon. Play with fire their own Feldon C2. Not bad, not bad. Let's see what they see. They do find okay, luckily we got their creatures are gone, man. So that's important at least. Holy cow, man. Like we've been on the run. I think we probably just power up Restless Cottage, keep 2 open for the to gain life. Like literally just nothing else. We just go for swing for 7 and try to outpace and then gain 3. You have to be prepared for haste, but I don't really want to block here. Play the longer game. I guess we play the longer game and first of all, take that Squee out of the equation. So good. That's so good, dude. Yeah, keep the blocker back for their hasty creature and hope they already used all their combat tricks. I'm scared, dude. I'm terrified of this build. Look at this so far. That's super scary. They still have 1 mana open, and they're going for it, dude. I just know it. Oh, they might have run out of combat tricks. Oh my goodness, let's use that food. Let's go. Okay, Sunken Citadel will probably need like a green, like an extra green source wouldn't be a bad, no? Red source? Green source, red source? Green source, let's go green. That's not bad at all. Probably swing with Restless Cottage again? It seems, maybe that was their plan all along. Yep, play the long game, keep the Hidden Volcano back. I think that's fine. Start taking out like the play with fire and stuff in case they have a Bloodthirsty Adversary. No, they're gonna take it down to 12. And we still have that to gain a bit of life there. Wait. Oh, I could have, yeah, I could have tapped the 3 mana for the Stonetree, but I wanted to keep the Volcano back. Raiju swing, we should probably trade. Unless they buff the... Okay, yeah, they're going to buff that. So we're going to trade Raiju out. Take the 3. Gain 3. We're in trouble, dude. Like, for real, we're on the run. Look at all of our mana, and we're on the run. We could continue to try to gain life. I mean, the turtle was a really good draw, wasn't it? So let's go turtle, see what we see. Okay, probably the Cavernous Maw, right? Just anything that can continuously be powered up. We do have the 3 to power up Cottage, swing on through, and have a chump blocker back. Or we could just continue to establish a wide board state with Surveyor, grab another cave. It would be the same concept with the Stonetree, but since we had extra mana there too. Let's go for the Sunken Citadel. And this time, I guess I'll call red. Yeah, and then when we go for the Sunken Citadels, each one taps for 2 for our land, so we'll be able to power up our Maws easily and our Restless Cottage. Relatively easy too, since they all cost 1 less with Tortoise, unless we're going to be forced to block here, which we very well might be. This has first strike, we're probably just going to chump it with the Surveyor. If we do that... Oh my goodness, dude. Raiju. Are we... Do you guys think... You guys think it's a giant growth? What do you guys think? If we block with Tortoise, we're okay. Let's see it. It wasn't a giant growth. Okay, all right. I say worth the risk, dude. Okay, so first of all, chosen color, 2 of the chosen color, and then use those for the Restless Cottage power up. And then we'll have the Cavernous Maw. So we go 2 of the chosen color, Cavernous Maw, number 1. Cavernous Maw, number 2. Cavernous Maw, number 3. Wait, do I need a blocker? Do I have lethal on board? Math is for blockers. Let's do this. Let's do this, man, because we're still going to have 2 open for gaining 3 as well. Get the play with fire. Same concept, just in case. And they're at 12 here. Hidden Volcano's fine. That's wild, man. First strike hits Tortoise. Tortoise no longer buffs the other lands. So it's 3, 3, 3, and 4. Okay, it's still 12. Okay. 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 No trick from the opponent there. No Tamiyo safekeeping to gain. So I guess first strike Tortoise would have been the first thing, and then Tamiyo safekeeping would have saved them. They'd still be at 2. And if it was Tamiyo safekeeping, we're at 3. We gain 3 up to 6 with these 2 land. So it would come down to their top deck then, if that was like a Tamiyo safekeeping turn or something, which we also risked them not having another giant growth too. That was super scary. Somehow we pulled it off, man. 38 minutes in, can we get one more game in? I hope so. Let's do this. I'm gonna try to get this game in really fast here. Fun deck, dude. My brain. My brain is struggling with all like the different land possibilities and stuff, so definitely one that I need to practice with for sure. So other caves, so we can tap for green with that. And Spelunking's good, Shigeki's good. This is decent, right? We go first here too, which is kind of wild, so. Okay, we have a couple turns of tapped lands, which is fine. Actually, if we want a turn 2 Shigeki, it depends what we want. Do we want... Okay. Sunken Citadel can also give us green. We want a turn 2 Shigeki. Probably gets picked up by something here, right? Based on the swamp. So we're just going to go Restless Vents. And then Forgotten Monument into Spelunking. And then Spelunking ramps with the Citadel for the turn. That seems pretty good. Okay. and we will call green, right? Oh, and it comes in on tap too. That's right, because it's, yeah, Spelunking. Nice. Really? No, GG opponent. Well, I'll take it. I wanted to get one more game in, and we kind of sort of did, right? 40 minutes in. Yeah, we should probably call it there, unfortunately, guys. And in this case, it has nothing to do with like how long the video is. It's the fact that I still have more videos to record today as well. So GG opponent, I'll take the victory, man. Maybe they figured we ramped too fast, and maybe they missed their third or something. Oh, speaking of thirds, I got my third veto here. Neat. Here's the deck list again, guys. Pretty fun. I would have loved that last game to like actually be a game, but I'll take it because like a big thing for me is actually just showcasing hands and lines of play. And so being able to actually showcase that opener, showcase the lines of play and the effectiveness of those lines, that was important to me. So I count it for this one at least. Bitter Triumph. Yeah, no, probably not this one, guys. Probably yeah. Probably not this deck is what I'm getting at. There wasn't a moment where we had a chance to discard an extra card. If we discarded like a land, like which was the original concept, right? Like, oh, we'll get rid of a land, then we can always pick it back up with our tortoise. Yeah, I don't think so. Not in those games, at least. I think we probably would just be better off with 3 Go for the Throat. That being said, it depends how many artifacts you end up seeing too. Maybe you just drop one of these, go up 1 Go for the Throat. Go for the Throat overall is going to be a little bit better, I would say. But this also hits Planeswalkers too. So it just didn't feel right for some reason in this one. And yeah, it depends. It depends. Didn't get to see Tear Asunder do too much today. This would have been great to pick up that etching that they had buffed in that one game, right? So speaking of picking up the etching, I ended up just not being able to do that with the Cosmium, which probably would have been much better to block a different creature and then power up 2 lands and then use the destroy target enchantment. Although all the mana ended up coming into play that game anyways, so all 4 Tortoise was actually excellent. I would have loved to see the Cave-Ins do a little bit more today too, but that's fine. Like in that last game, I bet if it was like mono black aggro or something, bet this would have had a whole bunch of stuff to clean up, including like Graveyard Trespasser. Getting around that ward is so essential, and that's something to note for like Into the Fire not being able to hit that. But Into the Fire would have cleaned up that aggro deck pretty nicely. 2 damage to that whole board state while the Squee was out there too. Yeah, would have cleaned that up really nicely. And then when you're not wiping the board, trading out the card seems really good. Gargantuan Leech. Bro, like this has to be disgusting, right? Unless I'm missing, I just feel like it's way too easy to get all those extra caves on the board and or in the grave to just make this cost way too cheap, right? And then like if you're ever spamming a couple of these out on the same turn, like yeah, I guess like we're in a format where Sunfall is everywhere, but still, I don't know, right? Like this takes things out of the equation like big time. If I didn't play into the giant growth hand and we kept this on the board and blocked a 1/1 instead in that game, that just would have turned the tides complete. I mean, I guess they eventually would have found a combat trick to take it out maybe, because we would have had to keep blocking. No, not necessarily. We could have flipped the table and started attacking instead, but then yeah, they could do the combat tricks on their blocking step too then. And then just like certain like ordering of things, you got to be super cautious with. Like if you are powering up lands, you can totally block with them first and then tap them to activate your removal and stuff too. So like yeah, that's one of those ones that'll keep me up at night. Like me not seeing the Cavernous Maw block that game, or activating the food on the Restless Cottage, which was like super essential for this build. We didn't get to see Restless Vents do too much, but just like these extra creature lands are wild, man. And then like they're all cheaper with Sunken Citadel, which we saw when I was just powering up that wide board state. I got so scared that they were going to be able to block Tortoise and not take all the damage, but luckily we still had food from the cottage. Yeah, dude, this was fun. This was a fun time. Since we didn't see like any Wrenn and Realmbreakers, do we think this would have been good today? I think so. I think so. Like, we could probably drop one since we didn't see it, and probably drop like a Stonetree and just go up more removal, and you're gonna be fine. Like, you like the amount of removal you need in standard it's heartbreaking, guys. It really is, because that means everyone else is playing all that removal too. Like, we tried to play that poor Hinata deck yesterday. It's just, yeah, if you're not playing protection, but even then, when you are playing protection spells, it's very, very tricky because it slows you down to the point where I can't play my 3-drop until I have 4 mana for my protection. So it still ends up not working out just because of all the removal packed into everything. That being said, yeah, you could go up more removal and probably be pretty satisfied. Because I don't think the Stonetree did anything significant today, right? And then like dropping a Wrenn would be fine as well. Maybe we want 27 land, actually. So if you're dropping 2 cards, go up 1 extra piece of spot removal of your choice, of course, whatever you're seeing. Everyone sees a little bit of a different meta, as far as I can tell. And then going up a 27th land could be really good, right? That's possible, because realistically, you want to see a land every turn, and you like to see caves every turn. And when you get the Spelunking down, you really want to get a cave down with the Spelunking too. That cave comes in untapped, you gain 4. This card looks wild, man. This card breathes life into a deck like this, so a really nice card to see. I wouldn't go up any of these Cosmiums. I think the 2 was right. You know, it's a 5-mana card, which somehow still felt pretty expensive in a deck like this. Everything else I like. Yeah. What would you add or take out? Let me know in the comments for sure. Would you just go like full 5-color caves instead? Or do you like having this concept of a 3-color caves instead? And would we ever want to try like a Naya Caves or something? Or what else would, yeah, because the Naya Caves would let us play the Bat card. What is the Bat Cave card, guys? One day I'll learn the name of, oh, that's why. Why are there so many bats in standard? Oh, it's just names that have bats in it. What could I type in to find the Bat Cave card? Oh, cave, there we go. Yeah, Bat Colony, there it is. Or maybe we want to try, like, maybe if we cut the red and go up the white, we could play the Bat Colony instead of the board wipes. The problem is, I feel like the board wipes are just going to come in handy way too often. But like I said, it does hit our stuff too, including like Tortoise and whatnot. Shigeki was really good today too, huh? Either way, guys, enough rambling. Here's the deck list. Let me know what you would add or take out. If you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.